Good morning, doctor. My name is Premila Arugam. I'm from Group 2. So, we are going to present about the UUM Sports Facilities Booking System. So, first of all, our project background is offer an efficient and easy way for users to check the status of booking reservation in real time. It helps staff to handle the booking quickly and effectively. In addition, a well-designed appearance and intuitive interface of the UUM Sports Center booking system will be designed. The UUM Sports Center booking system will make the reservation process for the user a quick and pleasant experience. So first, how to set up the SQL server in notebook or local host. So first, we have to install the SQL Server Management Studio, and then we need to connect to SQL Server. The third one is in the Object Explorer panel. We have to right click on the databases and choose a new database. And lastly, we need to set a database name. So, and then how to create your tables in SQL Server and insert dummy data into each table. So first of all, this is the way to create the tables. So we create 4 tables, which is students, facility, staff, and booking. So this is the SQL statements to create the tables. So we insert the dummy data for the 4 tables, which is students, staff, booking, and then facility. So this is the SQL statements that we create. So for table, we create 4 tables, which is student, staff, booking, and facility. So this is the SQL statements to create the table. And then we insert the dummy data into the tables. So we insert 20 dummy data for student, staff, booking, and facilities. So for update, for example, I want to update the student name and student INASIS into Madhuloshini and SMMTC. So where the student ID is 10009. So after I execute this SQL statement, it will change in the database. So it changed into Madhuloshini, and then the student INASIS is SMMTC. So for delete, the SQL statement for delete is this. So I want to delete the student name, which is Premila. So here, after I execute, we won't see the name Premila here because it's already deleted. So for search SQL statement, this is the search SQL statement where I want to search the staff name, which is Tamil Wanan. So it will, after I execute this, it will search and show her the name. This is the SQL statement to view the report. So I want to view the booking tables. So order by the booking status. So this is after I execute the SQL statement. So this is the output for the view report. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, madam. My name is Teo Ke Ying, and my matrix number is 2771171. Today, I would like to present about the Java statements to add, update, delete, search, and reports. First of all, in order to make the add functions, we will need to make a code to get the values by ID and also create a new row and cells by writing the code cell1 equals to new row dot insert cells. This code can let us to create a new row and also a new cells. Then for this code is the STID3014 equals to documents.getElements by ID brackets STID.value. This code is to help us to get the value from the input stacks. So whatever we enter in the input stacks, we will get the value of it. Then for this cell1.innerHTML equals to STUDID, this code shows that the inputs fields, the data that we input will be shows on the cell, on that particular cell. To add the details to the table, we just need to fill in all the details stated here. After filling all the details, we just need to click the add button here and the details will automatically add to the tables. Then for the edit functions, we also use the codes that students.getElements by ID is because if we want to update data, we need to insert a new data. So this code is to help us to input the new data. Then for this code, the new data that we insert will be updates in the table by using these codes table.rows r index.cells bracket 0 dot inner html equals to stud id. So if we update the student's id, the new data will be updated in the tables too. So in order to update the details, like if we need to update these details, we just need to click the details here and all the details will be stated here. So if the indices is wrong, we just need to edit into Maybank, then click the update button here. Then the table here will update with Maybank. Then for the remove functions, it help us to remove, these codes will help us to remove the selected row. So if we select a row of data, then the input stacks will be cleared by using the code documents.getElement by id bracket studid.value equals to empty. So if we select rows to delete and click the buttons, delete buttons, it will become empty. So if we want to delete a particular row here, we just need to click the row, then click the delete button. Yeah, then the details will be deleted from the buttons. Then for the search functions, it will initializing, this code will help us to initializing the variables. For this input equals to documents.getElements by id bracket my input, it able to let us to input the data that we want to search. So when we input the data, it will help us to filter the same data from the table. So if there is same data from the table, it will show the rows of the data. So for the search feature, we just need to click here and type in. Yeah, then the matrix, the student ID, then the related student ID will be shown here. Then for the report function, to create the tables, we will need to insert the header of the table, which is the student's ID, student's name, and all the details here to create the tables. Then for the button, we will need to make sure that the button on click will be made to the particular functions. So for the add buttons, we will need to write a code that buttons on click equals to add HTML tables row brackets. So this, when we click the buttons, it will run the code from here, from the add HTML tables row. Same as the update buttons, if we click on the buttons, it will run all the codes we write in the edit HTML table selected row, and the delete buttons, it will also run the code from the remove selected rows. For the report, all the details we entered will be shown in the table here. So that's for the reports. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today I'm gonna present about our project, which is titled about UUN Sport Facilities Booking System. Okay. So this is for my part. How to execute coding in any development framework to develop simple application. My name is Nur Hidayah binti Muhammad Suhaimi and my metric number is 271944. Okay. First of all, we must setting up a web application project. We need to choose File, New Project from the main menu. Under category, select Java Web.
On the project, select Web Application, then click Next. In step 2, enter Hello Web in the project name text box. Specify the project location to any directory on your computer. For purpose of the tutorial, this directory is referred to as Project Home. Optional, select the Use Dedicated Folder for Storing Libraries checkbox and specify the location for the Libraries folder. See Creating Java Project in Developing Application with NetBeans IDE for more information on this option. Click Next. The Server and Setting panel open. Select the version of Java EE you want to use for your application. Select the server to which you want to deploy your application. Only servers that are registered with the IDE are listed. Note that the contact path example on the server become or Hello Web, which is based on the name you gave the project in a previous step. Click Finish. The IDE create the project home or Hello Web project folder. You can view the project file structure in the file windows and its logical structure in the project's windows. So it's gonna look like this. Okay, the project folder contains all of your sources and project metadata, such as the project and build script. The Hello Web project open in the IDE. The welcome page index.jsp open in the source editor in the main window. Next, creating and editing web application source file. Creating a Java package and a Java source file. In the project window, expand the source package node. Note the source package node only contain an empty default package node. Then, right-click the source package node and choose New Java class. Enter name handler in the class name tag box and type yg.mypackage.hello in the package combo box. Click Finish. Notice that the new name handler Java file open in the source editor. In the source editor, declare a string variable by typing the following line directly below the class declaration. It will look like this. Then, generating getter and setter method. Right-click the name field in the source editor and choose refactor encapsulate field. The encapsulate field dialog open, listing the name field. Notice that field visibility is by default set to private and accessor visibility to public, indicating that the access modifier for class variable declaration will be specified as private, whereas getter and setter method will be generated with public and private modifier respectively. It will look like this. After that, getter and setter methods are generated for the name field. The modifier for the class variable is set to private, while getter and setter methods are generated with public modifier. The Java class should now look similar to the following, like this. Next, editing the default Java server page file. We focus the index.jsp file by clicking its tab display at the top of the source editor. In the palette located to the right of the source editor, expand HTML form and drag a form item to a point after the H1 tag in the source editor. The Insert Form dialog box display. Specify the following values: action, response JSP, method, get, name input form. Click OK and HTML form is added to the index.jsp file like this. After that, drag the tag input item to a point just before the form tag and specify the following values: name, type, click OK, and HTML input tag is added between the form tag. Delete the value attribute from this tag. Drag the item to a point just before the form tag. Specify the following values: labels OK, type submit, click OK, and HTML button is added between the form tag. Type enter your name just before the first input tag, then change the default hello world text between the H1 tag to entry form. Right-click within the source editor and choose Format All Shape. To tidy the format of your code, your index.jsp file should now appear similar to the following, like this. Next, creating a Java server page file. In the project window, Right-click the Hello World project node and choose New JSP. The new JSP file wizard open. Name the file response and click Finish. Notice that a response JSP file node displayed in the project window beneath index.jsp and the new file open in the source editor too. In the palette to the right of the source editor, expand JSP and drag a user bin into the point just below the body. Type in the source editor. The Insert User Bin dialog opens. Specify the value shown in the following figure, like this and like this. Firstly, running a web application project. The IDE uses an build script to build and run your web application. The IDE generates the build script based on the option you specify in the new project wizard, as well as those from the project properties dialog box. In the project window, choose properties from the project node right-click menu. In the project window, right-click the Hello World project node and choose Run. When you run a web application, the IDE performs the following steps. First, building and compiling the application code. See the note below. You can perform this step in isolation by selecting Build or Clean and Build from the project node contact menu. Launching the server, deploying the application to the server. You can perform this step in isolation by selecting Deploy from the project node contact menu. Displaying the application in a browser window. Note: by default, the project has been created with a compile on save feature enabled, so you do not need to compile your code first in order to run the application in the IDE. The IDE opens an output window that shows the progress of running in the application. Look at the Hello World tab in the output window. In this tab, you can follow all the steps that the IDE performs. If there is a problem, the IDE displays error information in this window, like this. Uh, If the fish server failed to start it manually and run the project again. You can start the server manually from the service window by right-clicking the server node and selecting Start. The server output window is very informative about problem running web application. The server logs can also be helpful. They are located in the server relevant directory. You can also view the IDE log visible by selecting View IDE log like this. The index.jsp page opens in your default browser. Note that the browser window may open before the IDE displays the server output, like this. Lastly, enter your name in the text box, then click OK. The response.jsp page displays providing you with a simple greeting like "Hello Larry."